Welp, still in last place is Days of Our Lives. The Ron Carlivati writing continues to be absolutely atrocious on the show. Yeah, listen, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Ron's writing gets to the point where it gets just way too bad. And I think we've reached that point. The show has actually reached it before a few years ago. I felt like Ron's writing was absolutely atrocious. And they kept him around, and he kind of recovered in 2021. But I just wish they'd give him a co-head writer or something because it is not working. There is a reason that Days of Our Lives is the least watched American soap opera. And that reason is that it is no longer able to be taken seriously. And it's not the worst thing in the world if there was at least some stories right now that weren't bad. I can't find one story that's not bad anymore. I feel like all the stories right now are unfortunately bad. This was not the case last year, but we've gotten to a point now where that is the case. First, we'll talk about how they have decided to not end the goddamn possession story that I've been talking about, how I needed it to end for this show to ever improve my ratings. And it hasn't ended, so it hasn't improved in my ratings because this story is still stupid. The devil is not gone. No, instead, the devil is now in Johnny instead of being in Marlena. And I think it is just bad writing continuing because what has truly been the point of this possession story? What is the devil even here for? There is no rhyme or reason to the story. It is bad writing where the story just seems like everything is thrown at a wall. When the devil was in Marlena, it seemed to be really focused on Ben and Sierra's baby. But now that it's in Johnny, Johnny's just more horny than he already was, and he is interested at working for his father's business, even though he wasn't before. And first of all, who cares? But also, why has the devil changed what he wants to do just because the devil is in a different character? Makes no sense. The story makes no sense. I mean, it's been stupid from the beginning. And I'm not going to blame Ron completely for this because he said in an interview that bringing back the possession story was not his idea. It was Ken Cordy and Albert Alar, the producers, and they fucked up by doing this because they have truly trashed the show right now. And there's more than just the possession. I mean, the possession is bad enough because it's a stupid story and it makes the show a complete joke. But then we also have like the story of EJ, Sammy, Lucas, where, you know, why piss off one fan base of a couple when you can just piss off both? They've written both, they've trashed EJammy and Lumi with the story. And they want to write around Allison Sweeney's comings and goings. But why screw over the characters when doing this? More bad decision making from Ron and the producers. Right now, Lumi has been trashed because Lucas is the one that plotted to kidnap Sammy, which I find stupid. But, you know, Lucas was a character that back in the day plotted a lot. But it's been quite a while, and I feel like they've kind of hurt the character of Lucas for Sammy's comings and goings. And then EJ and Sammy just have no chemistry with the new EJ. They don't. So that couple has been just kind of screwed over too. So you had two strong fan bases for couples and you just hurt both of them. Bad writing, bad decision making right there. We have a story about a teddy bear with his head cut off. That's great writing. Yeah. Love that. Great television, right? Come on now. We have Sarah back, or is it Sarah? Is it Gwen in a mask? Is it Ava in a mask? Ron is going to the mask well yet again, and we're just supposed to be like, yeah, this is great. You always bring up the mask plot over and over. You sure have a lot of ideas left, Ron, right? You can keep bringing up the mask back. I'm tired of soap opera media continuing to let the people in charge of these shows get away with the same boring tendencies or the same bad tendencies. The soap opera media for like 2 decades now seem to be scared of going against the soap operas. I don't know why, but they want spoilers for they want spoilers for bad stories. That's what's so important. No, the media should have been holding these writers and producers accountable for years now to better these shows. And the networks play a large part of it. The networks deserve a lot of the flack because the networks, I'm sure, like shut down a lot of potential stories that could maybe be good. So throw the networks in there as well for being shitty to their own shows instead of bettering them. But I feel like the soap opera media, if they would hold the stories more accountable and the decisions more accountable, maybe American soap operas wouldn't be where they are now, which is in basically hell. The quality on almost all of them is so bad because the media and the fans let them get here. And that's where Days is. And I don't see them getting out anytime soon now, unfortunately. I liked a lot of what Days did last year, but right now everything is a joke or everything is just bad. So yeah, we have that Mask story. Another bad story is Craig and Nancy. They took this couple of Craig and Nancy, and they're gonna have Craig having an affair with a man. And this could actually be a powerful story, but it won't be because Ron could never write that by himself. Everything Ron writes is a joke. So we have to take a couple that's been on the show for 2 decades and make it seem like Craig has been gay this whole time and Nancy has been his beard. And I don't think a lot of people are happy with this story. They thought maybe it would. This is how I see Days right now. I think this is what Days is doing. They're trying to just get a lot of media attention, I guess, from they got a lot from Peacock, and rightfully so. The show they did, Beyond Salem, was good. And I hope they get a second season soon because that was good stuff. I will give Ron credit for that. I enjoyed it. But the main show has been shitty for such a long time now. And even though I did like a lot of 2021, they've fallen back into just wanting to like tell stories that get attention from the media. I guess The Possession is going to get attention. Maybe this Craig story they think is going to get good attention. But getting bad attention from the stories isn't good either. And I just don't think they're going to tell the story well. I don't even want to watch it, to be honest. I don't want to watch a lot on this show because it's off the rails. Ron is off the rails. He needs a co-head writer or he needs to be gone. But I don't know who Days would get. I'm sure Days would just get someone worse because that's what these American soap operas do. So I don't know the real solution other than the show needs to maybe actually try to start telling stories that matter and aren't just a joke, I guess, is the best I can say. I guess the only 2 things that I have in the positives for this show right now is 1, Bal representing EJ because those 2 have chemistry. I think a Bal and EJ pairing would be interesting. And the other thing I like is Chanel turning to Allie and those 2 sleeping together with Allie cheating on Trip. I think that's an interesting story, and maybe Chanel and Polina trying to get money out of Damaris after Johnny dumped Chanel because he's possessed by the devil. So, at least there's 2 little bright spots on an otherwise miserable show to watch. I don't enjoy watching Days at all right now because nothing matters. It's off the rails. There's no cohesiveness with the stories. Everything's all over the place. Everything is truly all over the place right now because of the possession storyline messing up the show. And I guess the most of the blame falls on Ken Cordy and Albert. But I think Ron's writing is never strong enough to pull out the stories he wants to tell with this Craig and Nancy shit that he's going to be telling. And another Mask storyline. And the show's going on an Olympic hiatus for February, so it's not going to get out of the bottom for me. It will probably be in the bottom in February too. So yeah, I don't know what the show's trying to do. There's really no rhyme or reason to most of the stories they're telling. It either comes off as a joke or it's just bad decision that are starting to hurt characters. When writing is starting to ruin characters, it's bad and something needs to be changed. So hopefully something will change in March. I don't expect much in February because it's not going to air a lot in February. It's going to be off the air for 2 weeks. So we have more crap to look forward to, I guess. Yay, Days, you're staying in last place in my ratings. Get it together, maybe.